and welcome to episode 5 of Mode 7, the show where we play games and talk about them. I am your host, Sergmanx, and joining me once again is the infamous, the legendary Monkey Man.
Thanks for having me on again, Serge. I really enjoyed doing this with you.
Yeah, man, thank you for joining me, because you know what? I'm in a good mood right now. We're going to talk about Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. The game was released on the Super Nintendo, and I gotta say, it's a badass game. I love it.
Yeah, I agree with half of that statement. Yeah, it's a bad game. Yep.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's a bad game?
I mean, it's just, I'm sure the game's fine for what it is. I don't know. I really don't like those role-playing games. I don't really like the turn-based style games, and this is both of those. And I'm not a huge Mario guy. Like, Super Mario 2, 3, for a regular Nintendo. All right, yeah, those are cool. I like those. But this one, it really just didn't do it for me.
Whoa, like, what about the game that you didn't enjoy or like?
I didn't really care much for the story. Role-playing games, like, they're usually too slow for me. So, like, I don't care about, like, what the storyline is. I don't care what the people you run into are trying to say. I just want to play the game. And it was, like, there wasn't enough action. And then it's just, like, even, like, when you're actually fighting the other team, it's just too slow. It's, like, I make a move, they make a move. I make a move, they make a move. And it's just, like, it's always too slow for me. I'm really not a fan of the RPG games like that.
Oh,
my first experience with an RPG game was Final Fantasy VII, and boy, oh boy, that was a difficult one to get through.
Oh my god, this might be the most downvoted video yet. Thanks a lot!
Okay. Well, considering I'm the only one giving you a thumbs up on your videos, I think that would be okay.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah, that's a low blow, dude.
Yeah, I think I'll take that out.
No, you can keep it in. Okay, so we begin our adventure in Bowser's Keep. Mario it's assumed you're there because Bowser once again has the princess. Nothing's changed there. So you're trekking through his castle. You fight a couple of enemies, but you'll notice right off the bat, especially if you went into this game, thinking it's just another Mario game. No, it's the title of the game says it's an RPG. So the battles are turn-based, which you weren't a fan of.
Yeah.
Compared to other turn-based games, I thought the battle system was pretty unique in a sense where I wouldn't say combos. They call them timed hits. So if you go to do a punch attack and then you press A at the right moment, he'll follow it up with another punch.
Right.
And the same thing if you're defending, you'll press B and you can take less damage.
Right. And it was a chance though, so it wasn't always a guaranteed thing.
No, it's guaranteed if you pull it off correctly. It's always guaranteed if you do it correctly.
Oh, it is. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I thought that they were saying that there's a chance, but I noticed when I did get it, like, it was a tremendous difference. It wasn't just like 15 points. It was almost double or something.
Yeah, like Mario can deal a lot of damage if you definitely master the battle system.
Yeah.
Same thing with the jump ability. You can just continuously jump on a couple of the enemies as you learn new special attacks. So like the regular jump, you can't do it infinitely, but as you level up Mario, he'll learn different jump attacks.
Right. And during these time-based attacks, I wish there was some sort of like a bar or a meter or something to let me know, like, like with red, yellow, green, like excellent or good or you missed it. Something, like there wasn't any of that. There was no feedback. So I was like, okay, I don't know. Did I do it at the right time? Could I have done it at a better time? Or I don't know. Maybe it's just a simpler game where like it wasn't all that crucial, just as long as like it was like half a second or a quarter of a second before the actual attack.
Well, there's a sound effect that plays when you successfully do it. So you'll hear like a different punch sound effect, or even when you defend, or when you did the jump, you'll hear like a one-up sound effect, and you'll know you did it correctly.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So as you progress through Bowser's Keep, you run into, Princess Peach and Bowser. And I thought the fight was pretty cool. You're on top of the chandeliers.
Yeah.
And, to defeat Bowser, you need to actually like hit the chain chomp on the chandelier.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I thought that was pretty cool. But what I thought was really cool, a giant sword crashes through the castle and separates basically everybody. And I love how when Mario lands back at his house, he kind of acts out, understands what's going on. So there's a lot of humor in the dialogue. I think it's a very humorous game. You weren't fond of the battle system. What did you think of the graphics?
The graphics themselves was fine. One of the things that threw me though was how the board is like on a diagonal, and sometimes I felt like it was a little bit more difficult for me to maneuver and figure out where I wanted to go and which buttons I had to push to actually get to where I wanted to go.
Yeah, I think it was designed that way to implement Mario's, I guess, maybe to blend in the classic gameplay with the RPG, such as when you do, in certain circumstances, have to platform, we do have to jump on things.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe it was designed that way so to implement some of those features.
So then one of your first companions that you get is this little orange guy who, as far as I know, or he's yellow. One of your first companions that you get is this light guy. And as far as I know, he's nowhere in the Mario franchise, right? Like, he's just exclusive to this game?
Yes, he's a brand new character created for this game.
Yeah, so he was kind of dopey.
And
he had issues, right? Like
Yeah, he thought he was a frog. Obviously, he's not a frog. And he specialized in I guess magic attacks because his physical attacks weren't particularly strong.
Yeah, and he didn't have a lot of HP right off the bat. But like when you upgraded him in time, then obviously he got stronger.
So how far did you get exactly in the game?
I got to the sewers. And once I was there were just so many different ways you could go. And again, similar to another game that we played when there were multiple options. Oh, you know what it was? It was Dragon Ball Legacy of Goku too? Like when we played that and there was the temple at Namek. This and the temple and Diglett's cave, like anytime I run into something like that, I'm just like, forget it.
Diglett's cave, the only one way to go, and the man gets lost. I don't get it.
I must be confusing it with some other part in the game or something, or maybe just when I was young. Like, yeah, I don't know. No, but like there's multiple, because like in Diglett's cave, like you get to these parts where there are like holes with ladders, and it takes you to a new level, and like there's multiple ways you could go.
I think you're talking about not Diglett's cave. I don't remember what the cave was called, but it's by Cerulean City. You need like flash to make it bright.
Right. Well, last time you corrected me on this, I said, oh, well, maybe it was that one. And you're like, no, that one's pretty straight too. I'm like, oh, all right, well, forget it. So, yeah, but it was one of those.
That's the beauty of RPGs. It's not very. I mean, I'm going to be honest. This is one of the more linear RPGs. This definitely isn't like a vast world map to explore. You're pretty much going from. You're being funneled along like a straight path for the most part. So it's not like a Final Fantasy where, okay, you walked out of the town and now you're in the overworld. You're walking around, engaging in random battles. Mario RPG. It's pretty linear. You see the enemies in the area you're at, so you can choose whether you want to fight or not, which I think is pretty cool.
Right.
So it's not like you're walking every 5 seconds and then all of a sudden it transitions into a battle screen randomly. You know what I mean?
Right. Not randomly. Like sometimes the enemies come towards you and like, you will get into a confrontation when you don't want to, but like, all right, whatever, it's fine. Like, yeah, that's part of the game. I get it. Yeah, everything you said, yeah, it's fair enough. It really is pretty linear. I think they had one part where they had you go back to Mushroom Mountain or something.
The Mushroom Kingdom?
Yeah, Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah, so it was like you had to progress past Mushroom Kingdom, and then you were sent on some journey. You had to get something and then go back to Mushroom Kingdom and like give it back or something. So yeah, but it was still like forwards and backwards as opposed to like multi-dimensional.
Right. So obviously the quest of the game is to get the 7 stars. Unfortunately, I think you only collected 1 star, so you weren't able to see how this whole game played out. But it definitely, I wouldn't say this game has the deepest story of all time. It's pretty basic. Like, I wouldn't say there was any like crazy plot twist or revelations. It's just like a wholesome Mario game in RPG format. But there are a lot of cool moments. There's a minecart minigame, which is pretty cool. It makes use of the system's Mode 7 capabilities. There's a lot of like cool moments in the game, such as you're running up this hill, you're trying to avoid barrels, like something like at a Donkey Kong. And there's even like a lot of throwbacks to Mario's roots. Like there's a part where you go behind something and then he comes out and he's like 8-bit Mario from like Mario Bros. 1.
Oh, okay. So it has like a lot of retro references in it where like if you're a gamer as yourself, then like you get these references and like it's kind of a throwback in multiple ways for you.
Yeah, and then not only that, like Bowser eventually joins your team.
Get out
like
of
he's
here.
an ally.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he joins your team because he wants to retake, his castle because he's got this sword stuck in there.
Oh, I see.
And there's a lot of, and even the Princess Peach joins your party for the first time. She's, battling alongside you versus you, having to rescue her, except for the beginning.
Yeah, wow. Okay. That's kind of cool.
The music is fantastic. I loved how, definitely sounded like it could be in a Mario game, which, it is.
Have you ever played a game where you didn't like the music in it?
Yes, I just can't think offhand.
Oh.
But there definitely is a couple games I played where the gameplay had to carry the experience. Because sometimes, like when I play a game, the gameplay could be not the best, but if the music is really good, I'll be more inclined to play more of the game.
Right.
But I can't really think of any examples offhand. But I love this game. This is one of my childhood favorites. I'm bummed that you didn't enjoy it too much.
Yeah, you know what? Like I've enjoyed a bit of the games that we have played together, and we still have a lot on the list. So again, I do appreciate it, and like, this is opening me up to a lot of different things, which I like. I'm glad to have had the experience. But I'm just not really a gamer. That's not who I am. Like I like super easy games. I like super basic games. Like, I'm just like, to even call me like a casual gamer would be an overstatement.
Yeah, there's really, since you didn't get too far, there's really not much to discuss with this game. But I definitely, at some point, I'm gonna make a video dedicated to this game, and I'm definitely gonna dive deep into it. But you win some, you lose some. You weren't too fond of this game, which is perfectly all right.
Yeah, and like there are games where like again, like you said, like this was a memory from your childhood, and like I've had that too, like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, right? So like that was like a memory from my childhood. Whereas if I would have just played that one today off the cuff, I don't think I would have enjoyed it all that much. I would have been like, oh, okay, this is whatever. So it's just a different experience when you have emotions tied to it from your childhood versus when you're coming into something new. And that happens even with movies. It's like there could have even been like Disney movies or whatever movies that you were watching when you were young and you loved it. And like if you try to watch the same one now, you'd be like, oh my God, this is terrible. What did I like about it? So
yeah,
it
true.
kind of depends where you are in life too. And you have opened me up to some new games that I really, really do enjoy. And we're going to tackle those on our list also. So that's cool.
Something I did enjoy from this game a lot is, this was created by the makers of, Final Fantasy. So they included a Final Fantasy style boss. It's like a very like, it's like a secret fight. It's kind of challenging. I think that was a cool inclusion just to show, like Mario RPG got its roots from like Final Fantasy. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about the game. It's definitely, for me, it's worth a play. And I think for people who like Mario and they like RPGs, then they'll enjoy this a lot. If you enjoyed this episode of Mode 7, give it a like and comment below your thoughts on today's topic. please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell to be notified when the next Sergmanx video drops. Have a good day and peace out.